Once upon a time, a curious brown bear named Bruno. Bruno was not like any other bear. He loved exploring the new sights and sounds of the forest. Deep in the forest lived a bear who loved quiet walks and hidden paths. One morning, as the sunlight danced through the leaves, he heard a strange sound, and his life was about to change forever. Behind a fallen log, a pair of green eyes sparkled. It was Olive, a little cat with a curious mind and a leaf on her head. They stared at each other for a moment, and then both smiled. A new friendship had just begun. "Who are you?" asked the bear. "I'm Olive," said the cat. "I live just beyond the mossy rocks." Bruno nodded. "I'm Bruno. I walk this path every day." They looked at the sky, already feeling like old friends. "Let's find the magical pond," exclaimed Olive, jumping up. Bruno's eyes lit up. "I've heard it's where the stars come to rest at night." Together they began their search, stepping over roots and under hanging vines. "There it is," Olive whispered. The pond shone blue and silver, reflecting the trees and sky like a mirror. The bright waves spread out in circles. From that day on, Bruno and Olive became inseparable friends. Every morning they ventured deeper into the forest, starting their journey with Bruno's favourite game, Brown bear, what do you see?" Their laughter echoed among the trees, opening the door to new adventures that awaited them. Every time he opens that book, something magical happens. The three friends show up for another great adventure. Every morning, Bruno and Olive walked through the forest in high spirits. The fresh air and the colours of the day made them smile.
Olive ran lightly among the flowers, while Bruno laughed as he watched his friend fill every corner with life.
On the banks of the river, they loved lounging, seeing their reflections in the water and quietly sharing stories. The sun illuminates their antics as if the forest also laughed. A large fish tank appears in the water like a transparent dream. Bruno and Olive watch her in amazement, not daring to touch her. In the afternoons, they sat and watched the sky dye itself gold, knowing that their friendship was a gift. That night, they fell asleep by the fire, in a cave warm like an embrace. Outside, the moon watched over them in silence. In the middle of the forest, between laughter and games, Bruno and Olive discovered Mao, small, curious, and perfect for a great friendship. Bruno and Olive saw in his eyes a sad story. Without saying a word, they decided to go with him to the city. They walked for a long time. The green of the forest became roads and the roads became streets. The city greeted them with the smell of bread and open windows. At home, Mao offered them breakfast, fresh juice, warm bread and laughter. Bruno and Olive looked at everything as if the world was starting over. They walked through the centre calmly. The streets, the cars and even the air seemed to be awake only for them. In the city, Mao changes a little. It could be that everything new excites him. The air changed, and with it, the landscape. The park opened the door to something magical. A fair full of colours enlivens the city. Afterwards, the three of them walked to the neighbourhood fair. Colours, music and hands creating beautiful things were waiting for them. They looked fascinated at each window as if entire world were waiting for them behind the glass. Mao changes with his reflexes, and in these showcases it seems even brighter. Everything was shining behind the glass, mountains of ice cream, coloured candies. Did you see his profile? It looks like another one. But it's Mao, dreaming of ice cream. The three of them stopped in front of the fountain. The lights danced on the water as if the whole place breathed magic. They walked among roots and shadows, breathing the thick air of the swamp. In the middle of the swamp, Mao became almost wild, but their eyes remained the same. They stopped in silence in front of the lake. "Do you see that?" Bruno murmured. "It seems that everything breathes next to us." When they arrived at the pier, the sun was beginning to hide behind the sea. In the distance, silver silhouettes broke the waves. They were dolphins. Suddenly, other dolphins began to jump. One of them was so close that he seemed to greet with a kiss. No one said anything. They just watched without saying a word. They arrived at a golden beach, exploring the sand, and Olive, the first to dream, ran to the sea. The warm sand and the sound of the waves greeted them. The bear throws sand without looking and leaves the kitten covered from head to toe. Bruno walked backwards, happy, until he sank into the wet sand. Meanwhile, the other two were already splashing happily in the water. They searched for shells and shiny stones as if they were hidden treasures. Bruno lifts the snail, water falls from its shell, as if the rain still lives inside. Later, stops. The sun hid, painting the sky gold and violet. "Today was the best day," Mao whispered. The snowfall led to a fun surprise. They built a cute snowman. Suddenly, Bruno begins to shrink until they were just like him. The snow continued to fall gently. Christmas lights shine in the distance as they play. Bruno chases his friends, catches up with them, but it ends in a warm embrace with a bear like him. Confusion turns to laughter and fun. The snowflakes fell while generating joy. They became part of the fun. Bruno, Olive, and Mao jumped and danced, ready for a new adventure. That night, they lit a small fire and hugged each other to warm up. The snow fell in silence, and the fire told stories that only friends understood.